So I am Shanna Joudrey, owner of Details Event and Design Studio, and my business focuses on doing graphic design work, but as well we do wedding planning and event planning, and we also have a wide range of rentals. So I believe it was in 2014, my husband and I moved back to the area from Toronto. He was actually in Calgary. And we decided we wanted to move home to be closer to family. We're originally from Nova Scotia. I had been away for 10 years, and he had been back and forth between Nova Scotia and Halifax and Calgary and whatnot. And we decided this is where we wanted to be. We wanted to start a family. And I had a dream that, yes, I wanted my family, but I also wanted to have an opportunity to do my own thing. I had worked in the corporate world for a really long time. At Canadian House and Home magazine, and I wanted to get rid of the busy life. I got caught up in that mentality of get up, go to work, till late in the evenings, and then go to bed and do it all over again. And we wanted to have a simpler way of life. So we packed our bags and I went through the self-employment program there. And with the help of that program, I started my business. And I have to say things are going phenomenally well. So in the 4 years that my business has been going, I'm just overwhelmed and grateful with what I'm able to do here in the area. On our Facebook page, I predominantly focus on weddings, and my graphic design work is just all done by word of mouth with all the wonderful companies and people I know in the area. So when I worked in Toronto at Canadian House and Home magazine, I was there for 10 years. And when I started at the bottom of the ladder as an assistant graphic designer. And I worked myself up prior to leaving as their digital design director. I had to think about that. And what I did there over all of those years is I created content for their editorial pages. So I worked with our editors and attended photo shoots and worked with copy editors and took all the little bits of photos and text and everything and created the editorial pages for the magazines. So I've had an opportunity, yes, the weddings are predominantly on my Facebook page, but I've had the opportunity to do some corporate events. So I had one of our local landscaping companies, Helping Nature Hill. I had the opportunity to help them with their anniversary open house. I guess that was 3 years ago now, and that was a great experience. It was very much down to earth and showcased their qualities and values, because that's very important for me when I'm working with my clients, to make sure that whatever event I'm working on is close to their heart. And it was great too because that one was focused in one of their biggest landscaping projects now along La Have. So it was right outside along the ocean and the gardens. It was a lot of fun. I've also had the opportunity just recently this year to work with a local not-for-profit, Big Brothers Big Sisters, with doing a Valentine's dance for that organization. And that was a lot of fun too. It was just taking it more so from their kind of like a high school type of feel that they've done in the past to upscaling it to more like a gala dance event, and we're hoping to collaborate again next year on that project, so I'm looking forward to that. Moving back to Nova Scotia was a really exciting point in our life, and my life especially, because I finally was able to go after a dream that I had 8 years prior to me actually moving back, and that is doing what I'm doing now. When I started Details, I wanted to start off slow, and I did just that. And this year, we made a big jump, and we've extended our rental offerings. And with doing that, it's an exciting thing, but it's also a scary thing at the same time, because what I'm calling it is huge growing pains. And that is, with any growth in any type of business, there comes challenges with that. And it's just trying to get all the foundation in place. So when I'm at home, I'll be honest and say I only really have 2 days a week. I have Tuesdays and Thursdays that I'm able to have to myself to do the work I need to do, go meet with clients, run around to meet with my different vendors. That's when my son's at daycare. So I now have a 3-year-old who takes up a lot of my time, and I have to admit that moving back to Nova Scotia and growing my business like it is, it's exciting, but there's also a lot of challenges with being a mom, raising a small family, and finding the time to be able to do what I need to do. The other thing I would say that has become a really big challenge moving back to Nova Scotia, and I didn't really think about it at the time, especially when we moved to the house we're in now, is our internet issues. And I have to admit, I'm a real advocate of trying to make a change in my community and communities abroad and fixing that issue. There were many nights I would sit here at my desk in tears because I communicate with my clients via Facebook, and a lot of it is after hours. And when people are home in the evenings and kids get home from school and that, the internet's bogged down. So my little wheel on my Facebook and the internet browser was just turning and turning and turning. That definitely has been a huge challenge when I moved back that I never really thought about. On the plus side, though, thinking about all of those challenges, or those 2 big challenges, which I say are my biggest, the successes, I would say, of being back here, going through the self-employment program with Acadian Entrepreneurship has allowed me to connect and make so many connections with people in the community and businesses abroad that, I am truly grateful, because I wouldn't know half the people I know. I ended up finding out I was pregnant when I went into this program. So I started my business and had my son at the same time. And, when he arrived, I wasn't able to get out and do all the networking that I, love to do. And it was that networking at the very beginning that really allowed my business to flourish. And all of those connections, thanks to Bernice, all of those connections that I've been able to make have just been, unbelievable. And helping to grow my business and have it where it is today. I completely agree. And you never know who you're talking to that's going to, what's going to come out of that. So the way I look at it is everybody you talk to, communicate with is, it could be an opportunity to take your business in a different direction that you never thought of before. And I have to say that, meeting somebody on the street and telling them about what I do, they may reach out to me later and say, my daughter is getting married and, can I have some information about your packages? And I send it off. So, it's happened to me many times where I'm helping somebody with maybe some design work or something like that, and they send my name on to someone else. So a lot of my growth, I would say, would be through referrals, word of mouth referrals, and again, those connections.